Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm coming to talk a little bit about I-134 Declaration of Financial Support. Yes, I've talked about this before. I've made a video about this form before, but this is an updated form that USCIS has come out with. Yeah, it has been out for a while now, so but I know a lot of people have heard about it, I've seen it, but if you haven't, yeah, so this is the new forms that is out. So the old one that I did previously on my video on my channel is no more usable, so you will not get that type of form anymore. So the video that I'll be making right now is the current one. So if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, share to your friends and to your loved ones. And also remember, I'm not an attorney, I'm not an immigration attorney. I only do videos to educate. So any advice that I'll give to you is based on my knowledge. So I don't give any legal advice. I'm not any a legal person. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't give any legal advice. So without wasting much time, let me just jump into it. So on your browser, you just type in USCIS. So when you come into their website, you just type on forms, then you type on all forms, then you type in I-134. So that's it, Declaration of Financial Support. So only for this one you have to it's a paper, you can't find it online. So all that you need is come down here and I click on our form, so the PDF, and you just download it onto your browser. So if your browser will give you the permission to do it as it appears on mine, then yes, you just go ahead, and just pre-fill it, then you print it. But some will just download it automatically onto your device. It depends on the browser that you are using. So so this is it has 13 pages. As you can see over here, it has 13 pages compared to the other one that has, I think, like 11 or so. So with this form is kind of like an advanced technical form compared to the previous one. There are a lot of questions, a lot of questions, a lot of financial questions that they want to know. I don't know why they made changes to it, but hey, they're always making changes to stuff. So he says part one, he says basis for filing. So he says I'm filing this form on behalf of. So who are filing the forms for? He says myself as the beneficiary, another individual who is the beneficiary. So if you are the beneficiary that is filling up this form, you just click myself. But if you are filling up the form for another beneficiary, so for example, you are bringing your relative, your friend, or whatever, you are filling this form for that person, you just click on another individual who is the beneficiary. But if you are filling up yourself, you are the beneficiary and you are filling it up yourself, you just click over here. So let's just click on myself. And then part two, it says information about the beneficiary. So you just put in your first name. It says family name, the last name. So family name, probably the last name. So you just put in the name over there. And it says giving name, that's the first name. So the first name, you just put it anything. I'm just putting anything over there. And it says middle name. So if you have a middle name, you just put in the middle name. But if you don't have a middle name, you just leave it blank. And it says other names used. So if you have used any other name apart from the names you have provided, then you have to put it over there. But if you haven't used any other name, then just leave it blank. And it's date of birth. So your date of birth, you put in your date of birth. So that's the month, day, and the year. Yeah, so you just put in the month, and put in the month over here, and then you put in the day, and you put in the year that you were born. So you just put in the year over there, and gender, male or female. You need to know your gender. Yeah, guys, you need to know your gender, whether you're male or a female. It's just two, male or female. So you just put in a male. And now if you have alien registration number, the A number. So if you have any alien registration number, so if technically if you have a green card, your alien number is on your green card. If you are a resident, the certificate that you have, the naturalization certification, there's an alien number over there. You just put it over there. But I'll just leave it blank. And I say it's a place of birth where you were born. So if you are born in Togo, you are born in Afghanistan, you are born in Iraq, you are born anywhere you are born, you just put it over there. So I'll just put in where I was born, and the state or the province, the state that you are born. So if you are born whichever state, so you just put in a state over there. I was born in Iraq, and the state is Accra. And the country. So the country that you are born in, the country that I was born in is India. So I just put it over there. Just for the fun of it. And it says country of citizenship or naturalization. So if you are a US naturalization, then you just put in USA. But if you are not a citizen of US, you are a citizen of another country, you just put it in the citizenship of another country that you are, and you just put it over there. So I'm a citizen of Togo, just put in a citizen of Togo over there. You make sure you read. This thing is self-explanatory, very simple, very straight to the point. Marital status: single, married, divorced, widow. You just select. But for the sake of the video, so it won't be lengthy, I will just be rushing through the video, so it won't be lengthy, because a lot of people don't like watching longer videos like myself. It's kind of, when it gets to the middle, it's kind of boring, so I'll just be rushing through. And I say some information about the beneficiary. So information about the beneficiary. So you say your mailing address, so you just put in your mailing address. If you are staying with someone and the person is a care of, you just put the care of's name. But if you are over 18 years, you don't need the person's care of name. You just put in the address over there. But if you are and somebody and is a care of, put the person's name. So the street number, the city or town, the apartment. If you live in an apartment, you just click on it. If you live in a street, and if you live on the floor, you just click on it, and you put in your apartment number. So you just put in the street number and name. And so if you live in an apartment, you just put in the apartment number. And if you live in a city, you just put in the city, the states. If you have a state in your country, if you don't have a state, you just leave it alone. Then the zip code. If you have a zip code, you put it over there. So, and the province, the postal code, the country. Just put in the country. And it says, are the beneficiary's mailing address and physical address the same? So if your mailing address and your physical address the same, you just click yes. If it's not the same, you click on no. If you click on no, then you have to put in the physical address over here. But if you click on yes, then you just go ahead, and leave it the 11 blank. But if you click on no, you just have to fill up this part. And it says our beneficiaries anticipated length of stay. So how long the person wants to stay. So if the person will be staying for a month, a 2 month, 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 months, 1 year, and you put it over there. So from the month that the person will be staying, so let's say the person will be staying from January 18th 2023 and to which day the person will leave. So let's say the person wants to leave, let's say in November, so 11/18/2023. So November, or if the person has no end date, the person has not made up the mind that they are leaving now, you just click on end date, or you just click on 2. But if the person has no end date, the person will be staying till, then you just put in end date. And it says some information about the beneficiary. So this is the most important part. Yeah, so this is the part that is now part of the new um, I-134. So with this part is that the very important part. Before, earlier on the previous ones, you don't see all this. So it says a beneficiary's financial information. So the beneficiary needs to put in their financial information over there. So make sure you read and understand the question before you answer. So this part is for the beneficiary. So it says individual's full name. So the individual's full name, you put in the individual's full name, the date of birth, so you put in your date of birth over there, and you say it's a relationship to the beneficiary. So your relationship to the beneficiary, so you just put in the relationship to the beneficiary. So if it's your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your sister-in-law, your uncle-in-law, your nephew, your niece, your friend, you just put it over there. So I'll just put in friend. And the income contribution to the beneficiary annually. So if you support the beneficiary, you just put in the income contribution to the beneficiary. So probably maybe you give the beneficiary some money, you just have to put it over there. So everything needs to be in dollars. So let's say you give the beneficiary probably annually from January to December, annually maybe like 5,000. And so it says a total number of beneficiary, so 1. And it says a total income. So the total income, it doesn't give me the right to put it over here. So when you print it out, then you just write it in ink. And it says 14. Does any of the beneficiaries' total income, including income from dependents and other individuals who contribute to the beneficiary's income, excluding any individual's name in part 3? So the answer is no. If you answered yes to item 14, what amount of beneficiary's total income comes from an illegal activity? And then you put it over there. So part 2, beneficiary's assets. So the beneficiary's assets. So all the asset that the beneficiary has. So if you remember the beneficiary, they ask for their income, their contribution income. Now they are asking for the asset that the beneficiary has. So you just put in the beneficiary's name over there, and I put in type of asset. So what type of asset does the person have? So there's a whole lot that you can choose from. So if it's a personal asset, if any asset that they have, you select from the ones over here. I'll just go with the personal property. So you put in the amount, the cash value of the personal property. So if they have a house, if they have houses, if they have cars, whatever businesses, you just give them the cash value. Like if they sell the assets right now, what will be the money that they will get? So you just put in like let's say $100,000. So if they have a lot of assets, so I just put in personal asset, just make it 1 and put in the value. So if they have checking account, savings account, amenities, stocks, and all that stuff, if they have a whole lot of assets, just put it over there. And you put in your total, the current cash value. So the current cash value over there, you just put it right there. So when you print it out, and you just put in the total amount. So if you fill this whole thing up, you need to add them and put in your current, and you put in your total. So let's say you bought a TV for, let's say $500, you just put it over there. And the current cash value, maybe depreciation, so it's being sold for 400 or something. Just put in all everything, you put in your total. And it says part 3, information about the individual agreeing to beneficiary support. So this is the person that is agreeing to support the beneficiary. So we like we are filing for someone. Your father is filing for you, or your mother, or your friend, or whatever is filing for you. So your friend, whoever is bringing you here to the country, that person is the one supporting you. So you put in the person's name, the last name, that's the family name. You put in the given name, that's the first name. You put in their middle name, and if they have any other names used, you put it over there. Their current mailing address, you have to know their current mailing address. So if it's an apartment, a street, or a floor, then you put it over here, and you just make sure you write it well. And the part 3 says information about the individual agreeing to financially support them. So the continuation of it. So it says here, number 4 is their current address the same as their physical address? If yes, you click on yes. If no, you click on no, and you put on. So if you click on yes, this place, you don't have to worry about it. But if you click on no, then you have to fill up this part. And it says other information: the date of birth of the sponsor, the place of birth, the alien number of the sponsor, their USCIS online account. So if the person has a USCIS online account, you just put it over there. It's not compulsory, but it's useful if you the sponsor has a USCIS online account, because that's where you know the status of your application, and the alien number to just put it over there. And the immigration status: what is your current immigration status? Provide documentation as provided in the instructions. So the person sponsoring, so if the person is a US citizen, a US national, lawful permanent resident. So if you're a US citizen, you just click on the US citizen over there, and you put that person's alien number. It's on the certificate, their naturalization certificate. You just put it over there. Yeah, it's very simple. You just put it over there. And if the person is a non-immigrant, and you put in the form I-95 arrival departure record number, just put it over there. I've made a video about this, so if you don't know what it is, just go into my video and look out for it. You just find it over there. And if you have other explanation, you just put it right there. And it says employment information. So the employment information, employment status, is still talking about the sponsor, the one sponsoring the beneficiary. So the employment status, you just put in if they are employed, full-time, part-time, seasonal, self-employed. If they're unemployed, you put it over there. If they're retired, you put it over there. And it says if you indicated that you are employed in number 11, provide the information requested in item numbers 12, 13. So you put in the information. If you claim you are employed, you put in your company's name over there, the name of the employer, and currently. So if you are self-employed, you just click on it. If you are not self-employed, then you just click here. I'm employed as. So what you do. So if you are you do a carpentry job, you just put in the carpentry, and the name of the company that you work for, you just put it over there. And it says current employee's address. So the employee's address, you just put it over right here. It's self-explanatory, very simple. And it says financial information. So this is the part that you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful about this part. So with this one, he's still talking about the sponsor, the one sponsoring the beneficiary. So you just put in the person's name, their date of birth, relationship to the individual agreeing to financially support, and you put in the income. So let's say I'm sponsoring someone, so I just put in my name. So just put in my name over there, and I put in my date of birth, and a relationship to the individual agreeing to. So the relationship to the individual, so I put in self. Then the income contributed to the individual, to income contribution to the beneficiary annually. So the income that you contribute to the person annually, just put it. So just put the 5,000 over there. No. So this is how it is. So it says provide all information requested in the table below about yourself, all of your dependents, and any other individuals you financially support. So if you are married, you have to put in your wife's name, you have to put in your children's, if you have children too, you have to put them, everybody over there, you know. So they will know that, okay, this, the person that you are beneficiary that you are bringing in is not the only person you are supporting. But if you don't have any girlfriend, you don't have any wife, you don't have any children, and that the beneficiary is the only person, you just put in your name over there and self, then you just put in your total um, income over there. So when you pay it out, you just write it in ink. But if you have a wife, you have kids, just put in, you have a husband, just put their names over there. So so the relationship to, for you to that beneficiary. So if you have a wife, let's say you have a wife, that's the name you put in their, and you put in wife, and you put in the income into, so you put in 0. And if you have a kid, put in their date of birth, and you put in son, and you put in 0. If you have another kid, you put in kid, and you put in maybe daughter, and you put in 0. So how many kids that you have, you just put everything over there, and you just put in your total. Then you move on to part 3. So the part 3 is that still the continuation about the sponsor. So part 3, information about the individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary. So it says that does any of the income listed above come from illegal activity or source? So if any of the income comes from illegal activities, they put in yes. If no, you click on no. If yes, then you put in the amount. And it says assets. So the assets that the sponsor has. So if the so write in the sponsor's name and the type of asset that they have. So the type of assets, maybe they have a checking account. So the money that they have over there, maybe they have 100,000 over there, you put it. So if they have a savings account too, you put it over there. Maybe they have a savings account, and the savings account they have, like, let's see, 50,000 over there. And still they have another asset. Any asset that you have, if they have stocks or bond, whatever, maybe they have stocks, put in the stocks, maybe another 50,000 of stocks. Any assets, so the current, so that would be 200,000. And they put in your total. It says a current cash value. So the current cash value, so the checking account. So you put in a current cash value. So the current cash value that you put over there, you put it over here, then your total. So if you add everything, you put your total. So it says a financial responsibility for other beneficiaries. Have you previously submitted a form I-134 on behalf of a person other than the beneficiary listed on this form? So if you have previously filed for someone before, you click yes. But if you have not, you click no. So you just go with no. But if don't lie. If you have done that before, just put in yes, and you just fill up the person's name over here. So the person's last name, the first name, and the middle name, the alien number, and the date submitted, the date you submitted the form. You put it over there. If you have done it for multiple people, you just put in their names over there. You don't have to lie because everything is on their system. And it says information about the individual agreeing to support the beneficiary. So he says intend to provide specific contribution to the beneficiary. Intend to contribute. So he says I intend. So he says I intend, do not intend to make specific contribution to support of the beneficiary. So if you intend to make specific contribution, if you are not going to make a specific contribution, so you say I do not. But if you intend to make a specific, so it says, for example, if you intend to furnish room and board, state for how long. If you intend to provide money, state the amount in US dollars and whether it is to be given in a lump sum weekly or monthly. So if you intend, like if you are going to rent an apartment for the person, you are going to be giving the person money, and you just click on I intend. But if you don't, the person will be living with you, so basically they'll be using whatever you have. Then you just click on I do not intend. But if you click on I intend, you just have to provide that information over here. And it says part 4, statement, contact information, certification, and signature of the beneficiary. So the beneficiary's signature. So it says I, as the beneficiary, certify the following. So I can read and write. So the beneficiary that you are applying for can read and write. If the beneficiary can't read and write, you just click the interpreter name. So you put the interpreter name over here. If the person can't read and write. So if the beneficiary can read and write, because you have to print out this form and hand it over to the beneficiary. So if you give it to the beneficiary, they assume that yes, if you click on this, the beneficiary knows what is on the paper. But if you click on the interpreter name and the interpreter, then which means you explain whatever is on the sheet to the person. And it says beneficiary's contact information. So you put the beneficiary's data, phone number, the email address, and their phone mobile number. And it says as still the continuation. So the beneficiary needs to sign. So when you print it out, the beneficiary will sign over here and you date it. Yes, you date it, the date that the beneficiary signed. And it says statement, contact information, clarification. So this one is for the individual that is sponsoring the beneficiary. So you can read and write, to click on it. So since if you don't, so you can't also read and write, you need an interpreter. You put in an interpreter's name, and you put in your phone number, the one sponsoring phone number over there, the address. And part 5, they say it's clarification on individual. It says the clarification, there's one sponsoring. You sign over here and you put in the date. You sign and put in the date. And in the interpreter, so if you had to go with an interpreter, you put in the interpreter's name over here, the interpreter's business or organization if they have one, the interpreter's given name and first name, you just put it right there. And you put in the interpreter's mailing address, so where the interpreter lives. So you just fill that part out. And you put in the interpreter's contact information. And the interpreter's certification, you just put it over. I'm fluent in English, and so if maybe the beneficiary speaks Chi but not good in English, you just put in Chi, Ga, Ewe, whatever that the language that you use to explain to the beneficiary, just put it over there. And the interpreter's signature and date. So part 7, so if someone prepared this form for you, if you had someone that prepared this form, fill up this apart, so you just put it over there. So if the beneficiary didn't prepare the forms on him or herself alone, if the beneficiary didn't fill up this form, or the one sponsoring didn't fill up this form, but he had to go in for a third party, maybe immigration lawyer or somebody, or an interpreter, then the person needs to put the person that prepared. But if the sponsor is the one that's prepared the forms, then you don't have to go with it. But if maybe you went to a third party, then the person needs to put in their information over here, and they sign and date. Yeah, so if you have any additional information, maybe you are filling up something and you don't have much information, much space, you just put in the information over here. So you just put in the page number, the part number, and the item number. So they just continue. So guys, this is how you fill up the new form I-134 declaration of financial support. This is how you fill it up. It's self-explanatory. You need to have time, you need to think, you need to put in the right information. Please don't lie to the immigration, because they know everything. They just pretend that they don't know. So guys, thank you for watching this video, and please share, because this is an important information that needs to go out, that needs to be spread to the world, especially for the non-immigrants. Yeah. So the nominee immigrant, the I-134 is very important. So take your time when you're filling it up, and also if you're having troubles filling up this form, I'm ever ready to help you out. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.